language, his rhetoric, was suspiciously like that of Chavez or Allende, or very much like Jaime Roldos, by demanding that there be a canal treaty, that the treaty reverts, that the canal reverts to Panama, and that Panamanian sovereignty be respected.
He basically said no to the United States. He said, we're not going to do things your way anymore. This canal belongs to the Panamanian people. It bisects our country. We want it back, and we should have it back. This brought tremendous pride to Panamanians to have him say this. It changed their attitude tremendously. It increased their spirit.
The 50,000 Americans here and the Canal Zone have always been emotional issues in Panama. And Torrijos has demanded, but not yet tried to enforce, Panamanian sovereignty over the zone. In his speech, Torrijos said, I know that many of you would like to go to the zone today, but nobody's going. Let's wait and see how negotiation works. We have a sole recourse if our talks with the United States fail, the Panamanian strongman added. If we have to die, we will die because we want a freer country.
Since the Panama Canal was a very strategic waterway, the dilemma of the United States is, will you allow this man to be, in control of a strategic waterway?
Torrijos is a friend and ally of Castro, and like him is pro-communist. He threatens sabotage and guerrilla attacks on our installations if we don't yield to his demands. Well, the Canal Zone is not a colonial possession. It is not a long-term lease. It is sovereign United States territory, every bit the same as Alaska and all the states that were carved from the Louisiana Purchase. We should end those negotiations and tell the general, we bought it, we paid for it, we built it, and we intend to keep it.
I, Jimmy Carter, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
Congratulations.
I was sent into Panama to bring Omar Torrijos around, to bring him into our system, and he refused to do that. He said, look, I know if I play your game, he told me directly, if I play your game, I'll become very rich. But that's not what interests me. I want to help my poor people.
Ladies and gentlemen, the head of government of Panama, Mr. Torrijos Herrera, and the President of the United States, Mr. Jimmy Carter, today conclude a process where nobody negotiated in fear and where no one was afraid to negotiate.
We are here to participate in the signing of treaties which will assure a peaceful and prosperous and secure future for an international waterway of great importance to us all. But the treaties do more than that. They mark the commitment of the United States to the belief that fairness and not force should lie at the heart of our dealings with the nations of the world.
The people of the United States, technologically advanced, opened up Panama and managed to communicate and link together two oceans in what is now a trip of only 8 hours. Nonetheless, what happened to be a technological advance for mankind became a colonial conquest of our country as a result of historic deformations. What made Panamanians hopeful and what strengthened Panamanians' patience was the firm conviction that the American people are not a colonialist people. Presence here, together with the leaders and statesmen of this hemisphere, represents the conclusion of many struggles on the part of many generations of Panamanian patriots.
I, Ronald Reagan, do solemnly swear that I will faithfully execute the office of President of the United States.
Todo el clima político cambió en América Latina. Carter era un hombre cercano, era un hombre que había fomentado el clima de democracia. Ronald Reagan no.
John! Oh, John!
You, the men and women of the CIA, are the eyes and ears of the free world. You are the tripwire across which the forces of repression and tyranny must stumble in their quest for global domination.
Yo creo que él estaba preocupado. Yo creo que la muerte de mi padre lo preocupó mucho, fue una especie de aviso. Y de hecho, un poco su familia dice que justamente Torrijos en cambio les dijo, ¿saben qué? O sea, si ya me matan, mejor déjenlo ahí. No arriesguen más, no se vayan a arriesgar.
Good afternoon. This is a special news bulletin. Panamanian leader General Omar Torrijos Herrera has died. The 52-year-old strongman was killed when his Panama Air Force plane plowed into a mountainside during a pounding rainstorm in western Panama. His pilot and 5 other unidentified passengers were in the aircraft with him. There were no survivors.
When I learned that Torrijos was killed, I was devastated. I was very, very sad. Personally, I admired the man. He was fun, charismatic. I really liked him. And I was also terribly saddened for what it represented, for the symbolism that it deeply struck me that this is what my country does.
General Torrijos is the second Latin American president to die in a plane crash in the last 3 months. Ecuadorian President Jaime Roldos
Now, of course,
died last
some
May.
maintain that these weren't just air crashes. These were political events that were staged. We have no proof. I mean, I don't know this for a moment, but it's not beyond belief that these were not natural acts. There have been lots of political plane crashes in Latin America. In fact, if you're a Latin American politician, take the train.
From the beginning of my tenure as an economic hitman, it bothered my conscience. And I was very torn. Up to that point, I'd lived a good life. I'd traveled first class all the time, but I'd reached a point where I could no longer justify